Go for it.
Aloha snack bar, everyone. It's the one, the only Senor Silverback himself, the monkey of monetary mayhem, backed with the master of the fat flux capacitor, the maven of the airways, CJ, the partner extraordinaire. And it's another Rogue Money Mornings with V and CJ. With that being said, you can follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money. Check us out on Facebook at Rogue Money, and as well as RogueMoney.net. With that being said, also guys, check out our sponsors. If you are running scared because you're scared of collections and debtors and whatnot, and they've frightened you to no end, reach out to myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us, and let these guys kick the bankers in the nuts. With that being said, CJ, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, V. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. It's one of those rough nights, couldn't get any sound sleep, but hey, I'm here. And no, folks, it's not the dark roast I'm drinking. I cut off all coffee at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is my last coffee go round. And it just, you know what it is? I hurt my traps, man. I slept on it wrong the other day, hurt my traps, so now my neck's all jacked up. I couldn't get comfortable.
You have to go see a chiropractor, get you back in line.
I got to do something, bro. I got to go see like somebody, roll me, stretch me, do something, man. Hang me upside down.
I bet Jared Kushner could fix you.
You know what? I heard that when he was going on a ski trip to Aspen, Colorado, he was waiting for a ski lift to arrive. And somebody just randomly passed him a pamphlet about sports and exercise physiology and massage therapy. It was a pamphlet, like maybe 10 pages. He read it front to back while he was waiting, and he knew everything there is to know about sports massage. In fact, Kobe Bryant goes and sees Jared Kushner. Michael Jordan sees Jared Kushner to get the kinks out of his back. I'm going to go see Jared Kushner.
Yeah, I heard he's in the running for Surgeon General, so.
He's running. Oh, yes, I did hear about that. Yeah, Murphy quit, and Jared is going to be Surgeon General as well. He has no medical experience, but he's Jared Kushner. He can do anything he wants. He doesn't need to be a doctor. Hell with that, CJ. How dare we limit him? He's our Lord and Savior, Jared Kushner. I hope he can squeeze me in, CJ, because, being that he is head of Middle Eastern peace, I hope he has a chance to squeeze me in there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they negotiate this trade deal that the trade wars begin, right?
That's 5D chess, CJ. You're talking in over your head, man. This is 5D chess. Let's talk about the 20% tariff on Canadian softwood lumber.
Yeah, so it looks like the United States is going to be placing a 20% tax on soft lumber coming in from Canada. So the trade wars are beginning. Apparently, they couldn't negotiate. I guess it's been ongoing with Canada, talking about in terms of maintaining prices, the U.S. industry in lumber. However, without any resolution, this is what they have come down to: is a tariff being placed on soft lumber from Canada. V.
Yeah, because the Canadian soft lumber market really threatens us.
It does. It does.
Oh, it's really threatening to us. And of course, folks, I'm being facetious. This is really a non-issue. And if you look at why people are hyping this up, because this is stupid. This is what you call misdirection. This is what you call, hey, look, I'm doing something. Look, 20% tariff on Canadian soft lumber imports. Okay, what's next? A 10% tariff on Icelandic butter. What's next? A 10% tariff on Icelandic butter. A 15% tariff on tennis shoes from Taiwan. What? So, but I don't think we should talk about that border wall, CJ. The one that's going to be 10 feet higher. It's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be bigly.
Well, hold on, V. We don't necessarily have to have that right now in order to negotiate getting a budget passed and keeping the government running. We don't. I didn't mean that I had to have it right now. It can wait.
What do you really? It can wait.
I guess it's just one of those token chips. It's just one of those broken promises to the American people in terms of the first thing that he's going to accomplish
in the first 90 days, CJ. The first 90 days.
And now he's using it as a negotiating Chip, to go ahead and have Congress and Senate.
You obviously haven't read my book, The Art of the Deal, CJ. That's how it works. It's tremendous. Go ahead, CJ.
I was just going to say, it's just kind of embarrassing, though, that we have the majority in the Congress and not quite the majority in the Senate, but we control both houses. But yet, again, and the thing is, V, is that once you compromise, once you start giving away these big items, it's going back to being a politician out of fear that in the event the government does shut down, being held responsible for it, the concern, instead of being a leader of the state, that we need to find a way to pay for this. Here's an example of something that I could have thought of that would be fairly easy. What if we just legalized industrial hemp and allowed farmers across the United States to start growing industrial hemp for utilization for manufacturing of paper, for lumber, for
plastics,
plastics. I mean, right there, we could have not had to pass the tariff against Canada. We could have created a new industry that truly would have helped revamp our economy. But I guess that's too difficult to think of, V.
Yes, CJ, because the word hemp can trigger certain groups of people, and we don't want anybody triggered. Okay? We don't want anybody triggered. So we're going to do the next one, guys. It's going to be a 10% tariff on tennis shoes for Taiwan and a 15% tariff on Icelandic butter. And then people will know that I'm making America great again.
Well, here's the thing. I think in the event that, let's say, for example, that we did get the Obamacare fix in terms of the individual mandate, in terms of the companies and the amount of if it's less than 50 employees, you have to provide insurance. If we would have reformed taxes, then I can see that we tried to leverage
the wall situation.
The wall situation. I can see where possibly we take a little bit more hard stance regarding trade, but until we get the U.S. economy, running back on 4 cylinders, because I don't even think it's on 4 cylinders right now.
It's on it's on a half a cylinder right now.
All these things are going to do is just hurt the economy even more, V.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not even on one. It's not even a half cylinder, CJ. It's choking. It's not even cranking right now. And this is the point. This is what I said the other day, CJ. This is putting the cart in front of the horse. This is the ass backwards mentality. Why are you hitting trade tariffs when you have an economy that is tepid? Oh, look, the Dow is up 22,000 points. The Dow is not indicative of economics whatsoever. The stock market has nothing to do with the physical economy. There are 2 separate things, and if somebody thinks that they're related, you're an idiot. Period. You're an idiot. Anyway.
So, just to give an idea of what this is looking like, there's an interesting report that came out in regards to 11 facts that prove that the U.S. economy in 2017 is far worse shape. And they use the year here 2016, but I'm going to say even back to 2012. And there's some pretty eye-opening statistics here, V, that talk about exactly what you just stated, that it's not in the stock market is the livelihood and how vibrant the economy is. It's the real numbers that you can't ignore.
Yeah, absolutely correct, man. Let's go through them real quick. I mean, number one, it's being projected that there will be more than 8,000 retail store closings in the United States in 2017. Siege, you and I talked about this last week, and that will far surpass the former peak of 6,163 stores closing that we witnessed in 2008. So we're up even higher now. So the number of retailers that have filed for bankruptcy so far in 2017 has already surpassed the total for the entire year of 2016. Siege, why don't you go talk about 2007, the third fact here?
This is huge, and this just ties back to commercial retail property. So this is an outstanding. So far of 27. Now, mind you, we're only in April, okay? So the numbers we just gave you, that there's over 49 million square feet of retail space that is closed down in the United States. That's going to just create this huge commercial industry that ties back directly to banking, because these people that own these commercial properties, they have loans on these properties, V, and they're going to default on these loans.
1,000%, man. And it's a huge, huge, huge issue. This is what the Bureau of Labor Statistics talked about. Not a single person is employed in nearly 1 out of 5 U.S. families. Okay, that's why we have a ridiculous 30% unemployment rate. U.S. government revenues suffered their biggest drop since the recession. But most importantly, here's the deal, guys. Okay, this is the other aspect of the retail sales that are imploding. Used vehicle prices. We've been covering this for months. Wolf, I think, was the first guy to write an article about this last year at some point. Okay. Used vehicle prices are absolutely crashing. Subprime auto loan losses have shot up to the highest levels we've seen since the last recession. Americans do not even have money saved up for a $500 emergency expense. Okay, that is I think, 6 out of 60% of Americans don't even have $500 to cover an emergency expense. Do you think this is the richest country in the world? Do you think that we are far better off? Do you think? But you know what's important, CJ, is a 20% tariff on softwood lumber, while Obamacare and taxes and regulations and everything else that's screwed up about this economy is still in place. That's what's important.
That won't even begin to even pay the interest on the debt. That won't even put like a small little trickle on anything. And of course, the other aspect, V, that just came about is that now they're really pushing for the tax reform. And the very first item that they're going to start with is a 15% corporate tax rate reduction. Now, all I'm about lower taxes. However, the middle class has just been hammered so hard. If you think these corporations are going to take that 15% and do anything with it other than just buy their own stock back to inflate, to keep their shareholders happy, they know the technology that's coming ahead is going to dramatically impact the workforce, V. And Jack Ma is talking about this in terms of the future.
Yep, absolutely, man. And the whole issue is this: I'm going to take you're going to give me a 15% corporate tax rate? Great. You still have Obamacare in place? Oh, fantastic. I'm going to come back to the U.S. and I'm going to create an entire robotic workforce. I think look, Jack Ma is one of the smartest dudes out there. Okay. And he is China's richest technology billionaire. And this is what he says. He says, in the next 30 years, the world will see much more pain than happiness. Social conflicts in the next 3 decades will have an impact on all sorts of industries and walks of life. He explained how he tried early in his career to warn of the masses of imminent upheaval, but he was largely ignored, according to several publishers. 15 years ago, I gave speeches 200 or 300 times, reminding everyone that the internet will impact all industries, but people didn't listen because I was a nobody, said Ma, who was just named one of the wealthiest people basically in the world. Ma also touched on the hot topic of artificial intelligence, how it will change the face of labor force. On this, he was a bit more optimistic. Machines will do what human beings are incapable of doing, he said. Machines will partner and cooperate with humans rather than becoming mankind's biggest enemy. Clearly, Ma's upbeat take on robotic creatures is a little more different than the scary scenarios laid out by Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk, who was a con man. Let's be honest here. Elon Musk is a con man running a Ponzi scheme. The kicker for these, those tired of the daily grind, in 10 or 20 years, people will work less than 4 hours a day, maybe 3 days a week, Ma said, adding he believes it's likely that a robot will be named best CEO by Time Magazine within 30 years. But that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is this: we're entering an automated technology-based workforce. So all these people thinking all these manufacturing jobs are coming back. Yeah, they're coming back, but if you got all these regs in place where it's cheaper for me to run machines than running a human, why would I want humans? I mean, go into a lot of these McDonald's these days. If you're still eating, McGMOs, go into a McGMOs. Try to order up a burger. It's all done by robotics. It's like maybe a handful of people working in the actual store. Same thing in Wendy's. Same thing everywhere. Why? Because the fast food people wanted $15 an hour. They didn't realize that was the poison pill given to them to completely wipe them out in terms of it as a labor force. Anyway, moving on.
And you have Barry Sanders getting ready to submit legislation for a national raise to the $15 an hour minimum wage.
Sure, let it be. Go ahead. Let it all happen.
What's that going to do?
Yeah, let it all happen. $15 for everybody. I was eating at my favorite restaurant, and if you're ever in New York, I'll take you there, bro. It's out freaking outrageous.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Oh my God, the food is just ridiculous. You'd eat it, you want to go in a corner and start crying because it's so good. So I'm at my favorite place, and I'm talking to the owners. I know these guys for forever. They know my family. I mean, they treat us like VIPs. It's awesome. And the food is one of the best in the Eastern Seaboard. No kidding. Their Google review is like 4.8 out of 5 out of like 10,000 reviews. It's ridiculous.
Impressive.
So, yeah, very impressive. So So I'm eating there, and I'm talking to the owner, Tom. Tom's like, "Look, man, here's the deal. This $15 an hour thing passed in New York State. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do because the labor cost is going to be way too much." And he's absolutely right. He's got a huge kitchen staff. You know, a lot of them work menial jobs, which is, dishwashing, this, that, and the other. They're not skilled labor. They're not like the freaking executive chef who's like, who's got like, awards and whatnot, who's worth his keep. He's not like the sous chef or the saucier or anybody else that's in there or the prep or the guy who's doing prep. No, these are dishwashers. So you raise their things up to like, $15 an hour. It is a big problem. It's a great way to kill restaurant businesses. And restaurant businesses, you can't replace those with a robot. Ain't no mom and pop going to afford to go out there and buy a robot to run their kitchen. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. This is why Bernie Sanders, the top 99%. This guy needs to stop. He's crazy, Bernie. He needs to go. Why don't just Bernie focus on Glass-Steagall, Bernie? Focus on Wall Street. That's where Bernie needs to go. But Trump's too busy putting Wall Street into his administration. Guys like Gary Cohn, that crazy Bernie's left to his own devices. Crazy Bernie's doing nothing but attacking the minimum wage when he should be attacking Wall Street. That's what's happening, Siege.